is Harper Bloom, and I am a Perth-born, now Melbourne-based singer-songwriter. I play indie folk, pop music, and
my mother heard me cry at night, 'cause this girl I loved, I was out of sight. My father said just hope and pray, one day soon she will hear you say, hey baby, would you walk my way? I've been dreaming about you since yesterday. And would you let me take you home? I've got your favourite tea for you on the stove. And could you flash a dial? I've been in search of you for a long, long while. Hey baby, would you walk my way? I've been dreaming about you.
So, what made you lean towards music? Was there anything that happened early on that sort of made you go, this is what I want to do? Like, this is where I'm headed?
Yeah, well, I guess I was just brought up listening to a lot of Bob Dylan and Fleetwood Mac, and I was always encouraged to play guitar, and that got me into writing, especially listening to Bob Dylan and how he just kind of would take messages from the world around him to like create a song. And I just thought that was really powerful, so I'd try and do that myself. And so yeah, I started playing guitar when I was quite young, like 5 or 6, and I just kept playing all through primary school and writing songs, but it was more of just a hobby. And then I guess it wasn't till a couple of years ago, I moved to New York for a little bit, and my partner encouraged me to start playing at open mic nights. And ever since then, I've just wanted to record and perform music. So yeah, that's where it all began.
Cool, that's such a cool story. That's like New York, that's so fun. Like, what a cool place to start. Has there been anyone that you has there been anyone that you've worked or collaborated with that's really influenced you? So has there been anyone that you've supported or anyone that you've played alongside or co-written with that's really sort of influenced you?
Oh yeah, I haven't co-written any songs at this point, but I worked with Benjamin McCarthy, who's a really talented Australian producer, on my first EP. And those are the 2 songs that are already out, Walk My Way and Mary. He produced those, and he also added keys, bass, and drums. So he's also a really talented multi-instrumentalist. So yeah, I was really grateful for the opportunity to work with him, and he really inspires me to never stop learning and like honing your craft, because you don't just have to. I've always played guitar, but just seeing him professionally be able to play all these different instruments, it was really inspiring. So yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to your songs actually, and I really like the production on them. They sound really well done.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, he's very great. He's great.
Yeah. And who are some, so you said that you are really inspired by Bob Dylan. Who else has sort of inspired you musically in terms of artists?
I'd say I really love Vance Joy and his lyrics and just his really stripped back style. And I feel like a lot of his music I learned, and it really resonated with me when I played, and I really enjoyed playing his music. And Thelma, Plum, and who else? Julia Jacklin. I really love Julia Jacklin. I think she's a really talented writer, and she's got a really hauntingly beautiful voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, any artist that's kind of struck a nerve with me, I guess, and you want to learn their songs because you're so moved by them. I think they've influenced my sounds.
I totally agree. I love all of those artists, especially Julia Jacklin as well. She's a massive influence for me.
Yeah, she's great. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet her.
I know. Oh. How about Victorian artists or Melbourne artists? Is there anyone locally that you've been really drawn to as an artist?
There's so many. I mean, I really like even that busker, the Catfish and the Bottlemen. There was a busker on the street, and that band kind of, I guess, took on his name, but even him, he is really cool. But yeah, I think there's so many artists. Where do I start? I can't really choose. I guess Trace Decay, they're a really great indie pop band. Also, Fletcher Gull, he's a really great singer-songwriter, and he's got a really tight band as well. So yeah. Joe Neep, yeah, my bassist. Sorry, I should mention my girlfriend. Joe Neep, he's a really great artist, and he's
cool.
my bassist, but he actually does a lot of his own stuff. So he plays under, I can't pronounce the name, but Dumrisk. Yeah, I need to learn how to pronounce it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
Look him up, Dumrisk. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So next I want to discuss your creative process. So how you go about songwriting and where your ideas sort of start. Is it sort of something that you're just like a gift from the gods that comes to you, like some sort of phrase or idea? Or is it like a controlled process where you sit down and okay, I'm going to write a song?
Yeah, it's interesting, I guess. Sometimes when you're really feeling inspired, like sometimes you have this overwhelming feeling to go and write a song, and maybe you're too tired and you feel like you can't be bothered, but whenever I've kind of followed that urge, I tend to write good songs. So I think, well, songs that I feel I'm proud of. So yeah, I think it's worth following that urge. But sometimes I used to start with the lyrics first. And yeah, I just found that I found it hard to write different melodies when I was always writing the lyrics first. So I started, kind of figuring out melodies first, whether that's just like something I started humming or on like playing on the guitar, and then kind of molding in lyrics from that, which seems more difficult actually, but I think the songs come out better. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there's not a right or a wrong way to do it as well. Like
yeah,
it's got to be whatever happens. Do you ever find your songs sort of becoming a lot more than what you thought they were at the start, whether it's like they go a lot deeper than what you originally thought, or they evolve into a bigger composition, or does it ever sort of open up a lot more than you thought, or is it always sort of a very like, no, this is where it's going sort of idea?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think I think when you start writing a song, or it just depends, like with the Walk My Way song that's just gone out, like I didn't think that it would be a song that would kind of be added to Triple J and things like that. So when I first wrote it, I was like, oh, this is really catchy and fun, but I wasn't like, I didn't think it was one of my best songs, but it's the song that seems to have resonated with people even more than Mary. So it's just interesting how it works. Yeah. It's
that's
just
awesome.
I think you could spend a lot of time on lyrics, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to prefer that song, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I think people grab onto so many different things as well that it's so hard to pick what people are really going to enjoy.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, I don't know. I did feel excited when I wrote that song, so maybe that's something you need to follow, that feeling of excitement.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a good thing. Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that you start off writing just guitar and vocals. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just do guitar and vocals. I play a little bit. I mean, I've been tinkering around on the piano kind of with melodies, so that's something I'm working on.
Yeah. How do you go about then transforming that into because I know you do have drums and bass. Is that something that you rely on the producer for, or is that something that you sort of go into the song already thinking about, like, oh, I think there'll be drums kicking in here, or do you turn to other musicians for help on that and that sort of thing? Or
well, that's a good question. At the stage of my first EP, I didn't have a band at all, so I literally just took the songs into Ben, and I had a few ideas of where if there should be drums or strings or whatnot, but really he just kind of he took them on, and he would add bits and then show me and ask me what I thought, and I'd say like turn it up a notch or tone it down, and so it was kind of just collaborative. But he definitely he took charge for bass and drums and all that. Yeah.
Yep. And then when you do you ever perform with a live band as well?
Yeah, so at the start of this year, I formed a live band, and we got to play a couple of gigs, but then COVID kicked in, so it was a bit of a shame. But it was like we did all these rehearsals and stuff, and then we only got to play like 2 gigs, and it was over. So.
Hopefully it'll be valuable in the future.
Yeah, coming out the other side, hopefully.
Yeah. And with those band arrangements, do you sort of take that from what happened, like from the production of your song? Do you try to stay true to how your song sounds on like Spotify and that sort of thing, or do you come up with new arrangements?
Yeah, for the ones that we've recorded, we're just trying to play it pretty much the exact same as the record, just so if people hear the songs on Spotify and they like them and they go to watch a show, they're not going to be disappointed, because we'll just play it the same as the record. But then I've got a bunch of new songs as well that I've just shown my band, and they've just we've just kind of been in rehearsal, and they've just added their different bits and pieces. So they've been creative with that, which is cool.
Yeah, it's nice having room for that too, and I guess you can take that into the studio next time.
Yeah, exactly. It's exciting.
Yeah. So I'm interested in your lockdown life. So has it been a time of productivity or a time of rest for you?
Actually, well, it's been quite productive because my partner is working from home, so I feel kind of guilty if I was just laying on the couch next to her all day. So I've just, and also before lockdown, I was working like I was working like so much for a person that trying to pursue music. I was pretty much doing full time, and so I've just used this time to try and hone my skills and write as many songs as possible. So I was supposed to go and start recording the second EP next month, but we'll just have to see if that's legal. Hopefully it will be. So yeah, just writing.
That's good though.
I know. Come on, Melbourne. Yeah.
I think it's awesome to have this time for that sort of self-discovery, or like getting really deeper into your creative ideas too. So what does a normal day in lockdown look like for you?
Normal day. Oh, I've got to sound lazy. Normal day, I try to get up when Charlotte gets up. She gets up like 7:30 a.m. and then I go for a run just to like feel like I've done something. And then come home, I go on my computer, do some emailing, see if there's any grants. I've been rejected from pretty much every grant that I've applied for in COVID, which is a bit, it's like takes so much time applying for grants, and I'm obviously doing something wrong. But yeah, and then I guess I've been listening to I've been reading a lot of books, so got the old To Kill a Mockingbird right here.
Beautiful,
and a lot of kind of coming of age literature, because they've got really cool metaphors in them, which I try and use. And then after that, I just kind of sit in my room and just I play through all my songs, and then I start trying to write stuff. So
awesome. It sounds nice though. It's a good just to have that time to sort of to let yourself rest and just kind of muck around a bit. I've been enjoying that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Hey, but obviously you're still at uni though, online. So
yeah, that it's cool. It is sort of good to have that scheduled in, so I at least have some sort of structure to my week. But yeah.
Yeah, that is good. Otherwise, you start to go a bit bonkers.
Yeah, and then but it means I really make the most of the time that I do have when I have free time, which is really nice. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
important.
So what's the next step for you? So you said that you're hopefully recording soon. Are we expecting new music?
Yeah, we are. I've got my debut EP coming out next month. So it's called Faith, Sex and Skin, and it will have 5 tracks on it, 2 that are already out.
Awesome.
And there's also a nice little lyric video coming out with the 3rd focus single. So that's cool because my partner and I, we did all the animations and the writing, and then a graphic designer kind of put it all together. So yeah, we'll see how if people like it.
That's so exciting.
And then I'll hopefully be recording my next EP, and I've just signed up with New World Artists. If you've heard of them, they're a booking agent.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll put me on some shows in the horizon. Be exciting to play some good shows.
Cool. It seems
If fingers crossed, if COVID allows.
Yeah, it seems like it's just going to snowball once you can snowball, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, just be rolling. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess now is the time for preparation for that sort of rush as well.
Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. Just trying to prepare for the new age. Prepare for the new age.
I know. And what have you missed most over the past few months whilst in isolation and lockdown?
Probably going to live shows, and also just performing live and performing with my band and being able to rehearse with my band. And also seeing friends, I guess. It was really nice for those few weeks when we were allowed back out to go and catch up with people. So gonna miss them for the next few weeks.
Yeah, false sense of hope for a while. I felt like we all thought we were living in the new world, and we weren't actually there yet.
Yeah, so right. I mean, like all my family and friends back in Perth, it's just like back to normal, and they're all going to football matches and whatnot. And then it's like here, it's like we've gone back 4 months, so it's pretty nuts.
Come on, Victoria, we can.
You gotta laugh about it, otherwise it's just depressing.
I know.
So she sat in the backseat with a